The National Electrical Code, often abbreviated as NEC, sets forth regulations to ensure electrical safety in buildings. Specifically, concerning the placement of electrical outlets in bathrooms, a minimum distance is mandated between a receptacle and a water source, such as a sink. For a bathroom pedestal sink, the electrical code stipulates that any electrical outlet must be installed at least 36 inches away from the outer edge of the sink. This requirement is primarily in place to minimize the risk of electrical shock. Water is a conductor of electricity. If an electrical outlet is located too close to a sink, there's an increased likelihood of water splashing onto the outlet. This could create a dangerous situation where a person touching the water or a wet surface could become part of an electrical circuit, leading to electrical shock or even electrocution. The 36-inch distance serves as a buffer zone, reducing the probability of water reaching the outlet under normal circumstances. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the rationale behind this code requirement and some related considerations. The National Electrical Code is updated periodically to reflect advancements in technology and evolving safety standards. It is crucial for electricians, contractors, and homeowners to consult the latest edition of the NEC for the most current regulations. The specific section of the NEC that addresses receptacle placement in bathrooms is Article 210.8, which deals with ground fault circuit interrupter protection for personnel, and Article 406.9, which addresses receptacle installation. Ground fault circuit interrupters, known as GFCIs, are essential safety devices in bathrooms and other areas where water is present. A GFCI is designed to detect even small imbalances in electrical current, which could indicate a ground fault or a leak of current to ground. When a GFCI detects a ground fault, it quickly shuts off the power to the circuit, preventing electrical shock. The NEC requires that all 125-volt, 15 and 20 amp receptacles in bathrooms be GFCI protected. This protection extends to receptacles located within the 36-inch zone of a sink, as well as other locations in the bathroom. The combination of distance requirements and GFCI protection provides a multi-layered approach to electrical safety. In addition to the 36-inch distance rule, there are other factors to consider when installing electrical outlets in bathrooms. The NEC also specifies mounting heights for receptacles. While there isn't a specific height requirement for bathroom receptacles, they must be installed in a workmanlike manner and be accessible. It's common practice to install receptacles at a height that is convenient for users, typically around 12 to 18 inches above the finished floor. Another crucial aspect of bathroom electrical safety is proper grounding. All electrical circuits in a bathroom must be properly grounded to provide a safe path for electrical current in the event of a fault. Grounding helps to minimize the risk of electrical shock and prevent damage to electrical equipment. Furthermore, it's essential to use the correct type of wiring and electrical boxes for bathroom installations. Wiring must be rated for the voltage and amperage of the circuit, and electrical boxes must be suitable for wet or damp locations. Using the wrong type of wiring or electrical boxes can create a fire hazard or increase the risk of electrical shock. When planning a bathroom renovation or new construction project, it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician. An electrician can ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with the NEC and local building codes. They can also provide guidance in the proper placement of receptacles, lighting fixtures, and other electrical equipment to maximize safety and convenience. Now, let's consider some specific scenarios related to the 36-inch distance rule. What happens if a bathroom is very small and it's difficult to maintain the 36-inch clearance? In such cases, it may be necessary to explore alternative solutions, such as relocating the sink or the receptacle. It's also possible to use a smaller sink or a different type of receptacle that is specifically designed for use in wet locations. Another scenario to consider is the installation of electrical outlets near bathtubs or showers. The NEC has even stricter requirements for these locations. Receptacles are generally not permitted within the immediate vicinity of a bathtub or shower, typically defined as a zone extending 3 feet horizontally and 8 feet vertically from the top of the bathtub rim or shower threshold. This prohibition is due to the increased risk of electrical shock in these wet environments. If a receptacle is necessary near a bathtub or shower, it must be GFCI protected and located as far away as possible from the water source. Furthermore, any lighting fixtures installed above a bathtub or shower must be rated for wet locations and be installed in accordance with the NEC requirements. In addition to the NEC, local building codes may have additional requirements for electrical installations in bathrooms. It's important to check with your local building department to ensure that your electrical work complies with all applicable codes and regulations. Failure to comply with electrical codes can result in fines, delays in construction, and, most importantly, increased safety risks. The 36-inch distance rule is not just about preventing water from splashing on the outlet. It's also about creating a safe zone around the sink where users can operate electrical appliances such as hairdryers or electric shavers without the risk of coming into contact with water. By maintaining a safe distance between the sink and the receptacle, the likelihood of accidental electrical shock is significantly reduced. It's also worth noting that the 36-inch distance is measured horizontally from the edge of the sink to the receptacle. There is no specific vertical distance requirement, although as mentioned earlier, receptacles are typically installed at a convenient height above the floor. However, it's important to consider the potential for water to splash upwards when determining the placement of receptacles. If a receptacle is installed very low to the ground, it may be more susceptible to water splashes, even if it is located more than 36 inches away from the sink. In conclusion, the 36-inch distance requirement for bathroom receptacles is a critical safety measure that helps to prevent electrical shock. By following this rule and other NEC guidelines, you can create a safe and functional bathroom environment. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical work to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Remember, electrical safety is not something to be taken lightly. It's essential to prioritize safety in all electrical installations to protect yourself, your family, and others from potential hazards. Ignoring electrical codes or cutting corners on electrical work can have serious consequences, including electrical shock, fire, and even death. So take the time to learn about electrical safety and always follow best practices when working with electricity. It is also important to educate others about electrical safety, especially children. Teach them about the dangers of electricity and how to avoid electrical hazards. By working together, we can create a safer environment for everyone. Now, let's discuss some common misconceptions about the 36-inch rule. One common misconception is that the 36-inch distance only applies to pedestal sinks. This is not the case. The 36-inch distance applies to all types of sinks in bathrooms, including vanity sinks, wall-mounted sinks, and corner sinks. The key factor is the presence of water and the potential for splashing. Another misconception is that the 36-inch distance is a suggestion rather than a requirement. This is also incorrect. The 36-inch distance is a mandatory requirement of the NEC and must be followed in all bathroom electrical installations. Failure to comply with this requirement can result in code violations and increased safety risks. Some people also believe that if a receptacle is GFCI protected, it can be installed closer than 36 inches to the sink. While GFCI protection is essential for bathroom receptacles, it does not eliminate the need for the 36-inch distance. GFCI protection provides an additional layer of safety, but it is not a substitute for proper receptacle placement. The 36-inch distance helps to reduce the likelihood of water reaching the receptacle in the first place, while the GFCI protects against electrical shock if water does come into contact with the receptacle. It's also important to remember that the 36-inch distance is a minimum requirement. In some cases, it may be desirable to increase the distance between the sink and the receptacle for added safety and convenience. For example, if the sink is frequently used by children, it may be wise to increase the distance to minimize the risk of water splashing on the receptacle. Similarly, if the receptacle is used to power appliances that are frequently used near the sink, such as hair dryers, it may be beneficial to increase the distance to provide more workspace and reduce the risk of accidental contact with water. When in doubt, it's always best to err on the side of caution and increase the distance between the sink and the receptacle. This can help to create a safer and more functional bathroom environment for everyone. In addition to the 36-inch distance rule, there are other electrical safety tips to keep in mind when using electrical appliances in the bathroom. Firstly, never use electrical appliances near water. This includes hair dryers, curling irons, electric shavers, and radios. If you must use an electrical appliance in the bathroom, make sure that your hands are dry and that you are standing on a dry surface. Secondly, never leave electrical appliances plugged in when they are not in use. Even when an appliance is turned off, it can still draw power and pose a safety risk. Unplug appliances when they are not in use to save energy and reduce the risk of electrical shock. Thirdly, inspect electrical cords and plugs regularly for damage. Damaged cords and plugs can create a fire hazard or increase the risk of electrical shock. If you notice any damage, replace the cord or plug immediately. Fourthly, never overload electrical outlets. Overloading outlets can cause them to overheat and create a fire hazard. Use a power strip with a surge protector to protect your electrical appliances from power surges. Fifthly, be aware of the location of electrical outlets and switches in the bathroom. Avoid touching electrical outlets or switches with wet hands. This can create a dangerous situation that could lead to electrical shock. Sixthly, teach children about electrical safety. Explain the dangers of electricity and how to avoid electrical hazards. Supervise children when they are using electrical appliances in the bathroom. Seventhly, if you experience any electrical problems in the bathroom, such as flickering lights or sparking outlets, contact a qualified electrician immediately. Do not attempt to repair electrical problems yourself. Electrical work is dangerous and should only be performed by a qualified professional. By following these electrical safety tips, you can help to prevent accidents and create a safer bathroom environment for yourself and your family. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By taking the time to learn about electrical hazards and how to avoid them, you can help to protect yourself and others from harm. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical work to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and regulations.